You can find Nick at Nick Thomas Juggler on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Nick is on Worst Cooks in America season 29. The first episode is free on YouTube. You can see other episodes on HBO or YouTube TV right now. Nick has over 110 million views on YouTube. He's just overall a super impressive guy, super fun person to be around. This is the conversation that I had with him. It was.
Enough of that.
It turned into like one of those logos where you like start going down the tunnel or something.
Yeah.
Do you have a logo, don't you?
I do.
You've got your
it's a fun fact. That was, Gregory Prochet of G-Balls?
Yeah. I didn't know that's how you say his name. I've been saying his name wrong for so long.
Never call him Greg either. Gregory. That's how you.
Got it. My bad.
He was like, hey, I want to get you, like, I'm sending you G-Balls, like, for free because I'm sponsoring you because
Sure.
you're great. I'm like, cool, thanks. I appreciate that. And he's like, you need a logo. Here's the logo I made you. And I've
Really?
used that.
That's so good.
I was like 15 or something.
I love
16.
that.
I don't even know how old. I've been using that for 10 years. And that was literally just, here, I made this for you. I was like, cool. Jonah has a similar story.
Really?
He's got Jonah on his balls. And
That's so nice of him.
it is. It honestly is. And he embossed it for free. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. That's part of the sponsorship? You get the embossed
I guess.
balls?
I guess.
Is that so? That's something that I wondered about. Is that what this sponsorship means for G-Balls, or what it meant for G-Balls?
He switched it up a little bit over the years. I never got paid or anything, but like it was just kind of free products.
Sure. Those are expensive balls.
Yeah. I also got to like sort of test some balls and stuff,
fun.
which was cool.
Sure.
But it also helped that he lived 15 minutes away from me. That was,
Sure.
which I didn't find out. I didn't find
Right.
out for years. Like I'd been juggling other balls.
Next door neighbors with him.
Well, I also, one of my best friends from high school, his dad grew up with him.
Sure.
With Gregory.
Okay.
And I had taught him how to juggle.
Sure.
And he got G-balls before I did. So
Okay.
he had better juggling balls than me. And I was juggling like 9 at the time.
That's so funny.
And I was just using the cheapest things. It's like, I'm like 15. My parents don't know like what's good and what's not. And
Sure,
I
no.
was anything cheap. I was getting the
Yeah,
balls
yeah.
from Chris Hodge from Penguin Juggling that were
Really?
like $2 a piece.
I never thought about buying juggling balls from Penguin.
Penguin Juggling? Or
That's
not, it's not
Penguin Magic.
Not Penguin Magic. It was
Wait, there's Penguin Juggling?
Chris Hodge had made this.
Wait, really?
And if you talk to Chris about it, I think it was called Penguin Juggling.
I didn't know this.
And I talked to him about this last year, I think, and he talked about how he like had no idea what he was doing. He was running it through his parents' business, who had a business,
Sure.
and like the shipping aspect for that.
Yeah.
But he didn't know how to price stuff, so
Right,
he
right.
was pricing things like I think there was $2.70 a ball or something
Sure,
like that. Which
sure.
I mean, it was for a beanbag.
Yeah.
They weren't great beanbag. I mean, no offense, Chris. I love them. I still have them. But they
You should get
were.
them signed.
They did kind of like, they fell apart unlike any other beanbag did. Like
Sure.
the stitching sort of like faded off,
Right.
or like,
Yeah.
It
The
was-
stitching goes.
yeah, it wasn't great. But no offense, Chris. I love them. I did learn like 7 with them. So
So there's something in them that I think gave you extra powers for 7.
it was the
That's what
millet
I'm
that I
gonna
was
say.
allergic to. Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes, I believe it was millet. I didn't find out I had a millet allergy for quite some time.
I didn't. Wow. I guess that's pretty common.
Yeah, well,
for
I
allergy.
didn't like. I have really bad allergies for a lot of seasonal things, so it was just another.
Right.
Then
Add
I-
it to the list.
When David Furman was like, "Yeah, I've got this really bad millet allergy and all this," and I'm like, "Oh no."
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so how did you originally get into juggling? Do you remember the first juggler that you saw?
Yes. At least a very early one. I was 6. I was at SeaWorld. It's debated whether or not it was SeaWorld or Disney by
Sure.
my parents. My mom was actually right about it, which usually my dad has a better memory, but my mom nailed it. There's a picture of me, and you were going to put it up right here.
Right. Yes, it will be there.
Right.
SeaWorld.
Right there. There's me, and then you're gonna edit it in so it's gonna move with my hands.
Yes.
You're gonna
Yeah.
like track it
That will. Yep.
and size it up. And,
Yep.
okay.
Thanks.
So It was SeaWorld. I was 6, and there was a guy who did a street show, and it was a great show. I remember I loved it. I was so excited. And I also remember at the time, I remember feeling that I loved juggling.
Yeah.
Like I had to have seen it somewhere else.
Sure.
But he was on a unicycle, and the big trick was he wanted someone to come up and throw 3 clubs up to him on this tall unicycle. I was 6, though. Keep in mind, which is weird. I would never, like, doing a trick like that, I would never call on someone that small. I was a small 6-year-old. I was like, the average 4.5-year-old size.
Right.
And he picked me because I was so excited. I really wanted to get picked.
Sure.
And I threw up 3 clubs to him on the unicycle, which is kind of, pretty impressive for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
I did miss the first one. I do remember that. I was a little short. So I was putting everything I could into it.
Sure.
And then he juggled the 3 clubs. And core memory, I'm glad my mom took a picture of me doing that.
That's fun.
But really my start was my uncle. He just passed away recently, so this has been kind of a weird year for me.
Sure.
But he taught me how to juggle 3 balls. He could always juggle. It was his cool party trick. He had like a bunch of really fun party tricks, like that cool uncle that could does all, I don't remember what else. He played the harmonica. He did a lot of fun stuff. But juggling was his like big thing. And he taught me when I was really little. At least showed me the basics because I wanted to learn. And he showed me not to, like, the correct way of juggling 2 balls, like, to get started.
Right.
But I was so stubborn. I remember, like, no, this is right. Like, I think you're wrong.
That's awesome.
And it's funny because I practiced a lot before. Like, I say I started juggling when I was 9, but I had been practicing 2 balls, passing it for much longer, like under the leg, behind the back, with 2 balls, like, because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then, but it was when I was 9 that one day I kind of sat in my room and I'm like, why don't I try it like the way he taught me, sort of thing. And I had practiced so much with 2 that I could just kind of instantly juggle. Cool. Like that day, I was like, oh, I can do it, because I had just done so much the wrong way that. And I remember it was like another core memory, like going downstairs to my mom. I'm like, Mom, check this out. And I had showed her juggling so many times that she didn't even register that I was doing something different. Right. I'm like, look, I'm juggling 3 balls now. And she's like, cool. And then went back to her dishes or whatever.
That's awesome.
But not that I blame her, because I was very annoying with like, look at me, Mom, look what I can do. Yeah. When I see that with kids, I try to make it a point to look, and, but I don't.
It means something to them.
It does. So, so that was how I got started. Was that the question? I know I think I got there.
Yeah, I think the question was like, do you remember the first juggler you saw? You remember SeaWorld?
SeaWorld. Give me 1 second. I can get the name of the guy, because
really,
I had that picture for years. I posted it in a juggling group, and people.
Somebody knew him?
No, they weren't sure. It could have been a couple people, but then. I guess I can talk about it now. I was on a TV show recently, and there was a guy on the show, and he worked at booking talent in SeaWorld. And so I asked him, this year-long struggle, I sent him the picture, and let me see how quickly he got it back to me. Yeah, so I sent it to him at 12:20. Within 1 minute, like this big, hey, Todd, random question you may know the answer to. Back in 2002, and I sent him the picture. And then within 1 minute, he said, SeaWorld. That's Bill Whitmire.
Oh, wow.
So
really?
I said, great. Oh, no, apparently my dad was right. Sorry, my dad was always right. He is now day trading. He's still in Florida.
Good for him.
But yeah, he doesn't really juggle him. But Bill Whitmire, thank you for sort of being a part of the journey of me juggling.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's got you into it. So you're at the stage where you can do Cascade.
So that's 3 years later, when I was 9, when I learned the Cascade.
Sure.
Yes.
What was your next? Did somebody see a convention near you? What got you more?
So, timeline-wise, I'm trying to, because it is weird looking back. Like, a lot was happening.
Yeah.
I didn't really practice much until I was about 12. But when I was 9, another thing is there was another juggler at a Cub Scouts banquet I was at, and he was juggling 3 balls, and I had just learned to juggle. I had a really solid 3 at the time, and one of my buddies during his show, not really heckling him, but in a nice way, was like, my friend can juggle.
Sure.
And which, looking back, if people said that to me during my show, I would assume he can only juggle 2, like he can't really juggle.
Yeah.
But the performer had me come up and show off a little bit.
Really?
Juggle 3. I went under the leg. I remember doing that. And then he said, let's juggle together. So we each did one hand and we juggled together.
Oh, fun.
And then I went back to my seat and it was like, it was kind of a nice moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 9. And then I didn't really do much with it. I remember when I was 10, I was like, I really want to we had a talent show at school and I was like thinking about juggling for it.
Sure.
And the song was going to be Crazy Frog. And so I practiced in my room, like doing this like dancing thing to Crazy Frog.
Awesome.
Because I love that song. I listened to it on repeat every day. Once I got an MP3 player, that was all I did. And I didn't end up doing that talent show. But 2 years later, when I was 12, it was a little bit after the Chris Bliss video went viral for the first time.
Sure.
But I guess it made another rounds.
It made a lot of
in
rounds.
the emails. Yeah. So this is like right when YouTube is kind of starting as well. And it was my piano teacher sent it to my mom, the Chris Bliss video, saying, Nick would like this. He can juggle.
Sure, fun.
And so I watched that routine and I had no idea. I thought going
Absolutely.
back, I thought I was the best juggler in the world.
Yeah.
I had no context for anyone else because all I had was my uncle. And I guess that guy at SeaWorld, but I kind of blocked that out. And so I thought I was the best juggler because I'm like, I think my uncle's like probably top 5 in the world. So I'm better than him now. So I think I'm the best in the world. And then I saw Chris Bliss. I'm like, okay, so I must be second best because there's this guy.
Sure.
And so I watched that video on repeat, trying to learn every single trick he did. And a couple months later, my school talent show, again, it's a similar situation. And I didn't really know what we were supposed to do. And I just kind of, when you're young, you emulate other people.
Yeah.
And so I did Chris Bliss's routine at my talent show.
Really?
A couple months after that. It was a little bit different, but I did like as much as I could similarly to his.
I love that.
And I dropped one time. And looking back, like I was like, it feels like it was a lot longer, but I'm like, man, this was only a few months in between. Like when you're younger, time is a little,
right. It's different
than. But yeah, it was definitely not as clean and fluid as his. Like I'm like, okay, I'm doing reverse cascade, but it wasn't like his big circular,
Right. Yeah.
And then I was like, I made harder tricks because I did a 1-up 360, but it wasn't obviously as impressive. But I won the talent show.
Good.
Which was really cool.
That's fun.
I got a $10 McDonald's gift card, which I never used because it was like a trophy. So
do you still have it?
It's at my parents somewhere for sure, unless they throw it away. I don't know. Or maybe they might have just used it. I don't know. We have a gift card pin, so it's probably long gone at this point.
If it's not, I think it needs to be framed.
Yeah. Also kind of fun. Some of my friends made posters for me, like Go Nick and stuff.
How fun.
And then they gave it to me afterwards, so I still have those.
Oh, that's fun.
It was a really, really cool moment for yeah.
That is extremely exciting.
Yes, and we're also going to put a little clip from me right here. The talent show.
I will need to bug you for that.
Yes. It was so it's kind of funny because you cannot listen to it with the audio because the Beatles copyright, like they don't allow anything on YouTube of them. So it was to the Beatles song, that mashup of Golden Slumbers, whatever the other two are.
We've heard the Beatles portion, at least, of the Chris Bliss video. I think you could sing it along at this point.
Yes. And we got copyright strike. Dang it. Shoot. So close.
Okay, you saw the Chris Bliss video.
Yes.
Where do you go from there?
So then I was watching it on YouTube rather than from the email because I found it online so I could access it. Because otherwise I had to tell my mom to go onto the computer so I could watch that video again and see the trick. So then YouTube sort of was becoming a thing. This was a little bit after YouTube. YouTube was a little established, but I also was watching stuff on Google Videos, which was a very short-lived thing. But I watched the Chris Bliss video, but in the suggested videos on the right was the Chris Bliss diss video. I don't know if you remember that, Jason Garfield. He made a 5-ball version of it. And I hated that when I first saw it because I'm like, you are making fun of my hero, Chris Bliss. How dare you, Jason?
It was a little controversial.
I mean, I wasn't involved in the scene. Like, I just had watched them. So I was not involved in the scene or anything at the time. So I don't know what the vibes exactly were. buy it. But I'm sure, that's kind of like putting on a diss video.
Yeah.
You're trying to diss them.
My assumption is that he's just goofing around. That's my
Sure.
assumption.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
looking, that's my assumption. I think that you can't find that video anymore.
gone? Oh,
I've
no.
looked for it. I've had a few other people
I'll
look for it.
recreate it for you.
Oh.
I remember it quite well because I watched.
Please.
But no, at first I really hated that. But then I kind of realized, I'm like, wait, these are hard tricks.
Yeah.
This is very impressive.
Sure.
And so that then introduced me to the WJF.
Okay.
And then I think you kind of can
Sure.
get the whole story. I found out.
That's the ball rolling.
Yeah, I found out about the competitions. I watched their things. I'm like, oh, this was on ESPN2 recently.
Sure.
And I instantly fell in love with Thomas Dietz. I'm like, oh, this guy is
Super
great.
cool.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
And Vova and like these guys. I was just thinking about recently. They were like the same way I view athletes.
Sure.
Like my favorite baseball player, Tarek Skubal and stuff. He's
Right.
not my favorite, but I love him as an athlete.
Sure.
And in my mind, they're stored in the same place where they were not just people. They were, and getting to meet them was crazy and
Right.
wild to like, whoa, you're just a person. And they're all so nice. Everyone is such a nice, no ego.
It's the
kind of
coolest
thing.
thing because it's really the only time you can interact with someone who we're going to consider celebrities, and they're just excited to see you as you are to see them.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Somebody's a fan of me.
Yeah, it's whenever someone says something like nice about me, like, oh, I watch a video. I was like, that's the nicest. Quick side thing about that though. There was one time I was at Manchester Mondo, and my sister was there with me. We were doing a trick where I think I was doing 4 clubs and she threw in a 5th, and I just wanted to record a video.
Sure.
And there was a guy and his dad were in the camera frame, just standing there, like blocking the shot. And I was at first I was a little mad. I'm like, guys, we're filming a thing, but like you can't fully blame it. I was a little annoyed, so I kind of went back and then stopped the camera, and like I didn't tell them. I was being passive. I kind of was being a little not mean to them in any way, but like I was just like, oh, guys, come on. But then
You wanted to be mean to them.
I want to be a little bit, and But then when I went back, the dad like stops me and is like, hey, my son is a big fan of your videos and he wanted to say hi. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, can he have a picture with you? I'm like, oh no. I didn't say anything mean to him or anything, but in the back of my mind, I was like, come on, guys, you're in the shot. And then
These jerks.
yeah. But that was so cool because that was one of the first times anyone had like ever kind of seen me or that
Sure.
sort of
Yeah.
thing. And it was so cool. Like, and so me going up to like the Thomas Dietz and like, I'm such a big fan. Like that probably meant more to them than I realized at the time.
Totally. Yeah. I think
Because-
all of us are so excited to see each other, and just like, the tens of thousands of hours that go into the
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, whatever.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
finally have someone be like, that was cool. I saw that thing you did. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was, and I felt, I still feel bad that I even in my mind was kind of mad at them for anything. Like, I don't know.
No, I totally know that feeling of like, this person is in my way. I am annoyed. I would
Yeah.
like this situation to be different. Oh, they're very nice and they love me. Oops.
Yeah, whoops, that's my bad. So I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. This was like 12 years ago. This was a very long time ago. Maybe even longer than that. I don't know, but
Sure.
but yeah.
Well, that's definitely a question that comes up into my mind, is like remembering the first times you've been recognized.
Yeah.
What's for you one of the big ones of like passing back and forth? You recognize someone, they recognize you. Are there any that come to your
Ooh.
mind?
Man,
Just everybody.
it's a little tough because these all happened like 12 years. This was
Sure.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Nothing is coming to mind. I think, but I do think. I think that's partially because when I first started, like when I was younger, I was messaging everyone. So we
Sure.
were kind of meeting online first.
Totally.
And now I don't really do that. I
Right.
don't really cold DM anyone
Right.
just to be like, I'm such a big fan. Like,
Right.
I was a little more unfiltered
Sure.
in the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, not early days, but when I was like
Well,
14, 15.
right. Yeah. And in those days, the filter doesn't really exist
No.
so much then.
No.
That's reasonable.
So I think that I had met most of the people, or at least I'd met them online. So there wasn't much of that, like,
Sure.
for the first time. Unlike today, which is kind of weird, because now I'm like, oh, I've never heard of you before, sort of thing, and they hadn't heard of me.
Right.
That's happening more now, despite being more connected.
Yes. I think that we're able to just be in our own little circles everywhere
A little
more
bit
easily.
more. I'm also just like not on Instagram doing stuff very often.
Yes.
So I think
Probably
I
less
think
online than you used to
the
be.
juggling, YouTube has switched it a little more to Instagram.
It's totally on Instagram.
and
There's juggling. YouTube is.
That's where I feel like the old man, like, get back on YouTube, come on.
I
But,
miss the long form videos.
Yeah, but also I realized I stopped watching I was like, okay, I'm kind of bored of these.
You know what? I'll be honest. I'm the same way. There's occasionally someone will come out. Jack a couple years ago with Big Tricks Only. I liked that one.
Yeah.
But I can't think. I'm sure there's been others that I've seen recently, but
Yeah.
I guess it's also on the viewers, but also on Instagram. Everybody's putting like all of their stuff on there.
Yeah, just separately
Right.
in digestible bits.
Yeah.
Because our attention spans are cooked. But
Right.
yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Right.
Yeah.
The next discussion is like the collapse of society through social media.
Yeah, if we can go back to YouTube, we can delay it just a little bit. But
I don't know. I think it was the beginning of the end because you were able to like start those connections, and then companies can't help but see the attention span and the ad spend and whatever.
yeah, I think we've gone a little off topic here. But
When you, for your own opinion of yourself, when you were at the top of your game, whenever you consider that to be, if it's now or whenever, what's the amount of practice that you were putting in when you were doing, in your opinion, your best?
it's a little tough to say best because I was definitely doing the hardest tricks around my senior year of high school.
Sure.
Which would have been 11 years ago. But I'm better at like consistency for stuff now. Like I think it was my senior year, I did a DB, I did a 7-up, I did, I don't remember what other tricks I was wearing. 11 ball flash, I think. I think I was all in about a year.
That's huge. That's crazy.
And
wait, when was that?
That was my senior, so 2013.
That's crazy.
And I think those were all the same year, right around the same time-ish. And so that was probably like when I was doing the big tricks, because I had more of a focus on the video tricks, like getting stuff once, saying you did them, and you're done.
Sure.
And there are certain things that I have gotten better and worse at in time. But, at that time, I wasn't practicing as much as when I first started, though. I was probably practicing, it was inconsistent. It was probably only about 3 or 4 times a week. And I would practice 2 to 3 hours a session or so.
Sure.
I would go to juggling club every week on Wednesdays. Motor City Juggling Club, shout out. And I would go to that club, but my practices weren't very consistent outside of that. But the bulk of my practicing was that first 2 or so years, 2 or 3 years, where I was practicing 2 to 3 hours a day.
That's huge.
I had no practice structure. I was just trying hard tricks and eventually getting better. Because when you're that young, your brain makes the connections
Right,
a
totally.
lot better. Where if I just tried those tricks now, I wouldn't improve at all.
I mean, if you're doing like 3 hours a day, at some point you would be improving.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find the time and the attention span and like the emotional, and like you have a job and there's other people in your life who want to do things. So it's a lot harder to just like dump time. I would like to dump time into, but there's other things that I want to do more, which I feel bad about saying. Because for me, I'd like to get to a certain level.
Of course. But, if it's not as enjoyable. Like, for me, I only want to practice when it's enjoyable for me.
Sure,
like,
totally.
I don't want to ever force myself to practice.
Sure.
And I never really did because it was all I wanted to do.
Right.
It was like, if I had free time, I was going to be juggling.
Absolutely.
And I wish I could be that now, because now it's like, if I have a free time, it's like, oh, let me check my phone and see what's going on here. Let me do this. And there's a lot more distractions, and it's a lot tougher to really like do that. And even when I'm practicing, it's hard for me to be fully in like I used to be, and really like get into that flow zone that I was in.
Yeah. Now, do you think it's like a getting older thing, or do you think that it's because social media is collapsing society?
I would say it's 25-75, the latter being more so. Because I would like to get, I think I could get back to that point. I don't know, maybe not, but I would like to get back to that point. But also, like, it is different, you know, like having a home and a wife, and like I do juggle for a living, so I don't really have like a 9 to 5. But that also can make it hard for scheduling. Because like 1 week I'll be really busy, 1 week I'll be not, so it's hard to have a level of consistency with it.
It's definitely easier to have a consistent thing when you can say, I'm going to, at Tuesday, 7 p.m. for an hour or two, do this thing every single week. It's much easier to do that than to sporadically, oh, I guess I have an hour. Do I want to? That's definitely harder.
And when I was like in middle school and stuff, like I had a schedule. Like I would come home from school at this time. Okay, let me either get the homework done or practice juggling, have dinner, practice juggling again. Like that was a nice little thing. So it's when you don't have someone telling you what to do, it is a little weird. I'm used to that.
So you're a professional juggler. You're a real live professional juggler.
It's weird to say still.
How did you get into being a professional juggler?
It's hard to say like when that exactly started, you know? Like I know there's like when you take money for something, then you're a professional. It's
when did you first take money for something?
What was my first gig? I mean,
McDonald's gift card.
That is true. I guess that's the first. I mean, there's been times where like because when I was in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I was just juggling everywhere I went. Anytime I could, any free time, I would bring, like, friends would invite me over to like hang out or whatever. I would bring my juggling balls and they'd be like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? Like, I don't know, I need to practice. And so, you know, a lot of times I'd be out in public and people would like just throw money down. So like in that way, in terms of my first gig, I think it was, I was probably around 15, 14 or 15. And, oh man, there's 2 of them that I can't remember which was first. One was, it was like a city near me that my dad knew a friend of, and they needed entertainment for an event. And they pretty much just wanted me to stand in a spot and juggle, which honestly is pretty good for like what I was doing. Like, you know, like
juggle there.
Yeah, great. I can do that. Yeah. And I think I want to say I was there for like 2 or 3 hours, and I think I got paid $100 for that.
Okay, sure.
Then another one, this was so this must have been after. Yes. Okay, because I got paid $100 for that. And then another one, there's a restaurant that my grandparents always went to, and Strawberry Fields Forever, another Beatles thing. I never made that connection. It was a Beatles-themed restaurant, and they were having an employee picnic or something.
Was Chris Bliss there?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
But my grandma set it up for them to have me juggle there. No contracts or like no discussion of anything was made. And so I showed up. Oh, I might have been 16 because I think I drove to this. I don't think maybe my parents drove me to it. I don't know. But I showed up with a boombox and like 3 balls. And I pretty much just like talked to the guy. Hi. I hit play on the boombox and it was the Beatles song. Again, unintentional. I didn't even make the reference. Did the 3-ball routine that I could do, and then like stopped it and basically was like, okay, you can pay me now. And he was like, how much is it? I was like, well, it's $100. Which I did not provide $100 of value to them. I'll admit that. And even then in the moment, I'm like, yeah, I didn't really. And he's like, he took out his wallet. He was like, okay. He was like, I got like $50. I was like, yeah, I think that should be good. And then I took that and then I just kind of left.
That's
so
awesome.
Looking back, no one like stepped in. This was all like my grandma, like just sweet talking someone to like hire my grandson. He can juggle.
That's
but
hilarious.
I could juggle well, but I didn't have any skills to do that. Like that wasn't
Sure. The marketing, the how much time, how much value.
that was never
and
discussed.
Whatever.
That
Sure.
was never,
Totally. Yeah,
so.
that is very difficult, especially like coming up with it on your own on the spot. How much do you owe?
Give me $100. You're like, that was $100, which is fair, totally fair. I'll give him that. Shouldn't have been paid $100 or even 50. I don't know.
No, I think you definitely. It was probably $100 of value at least.
I don't think so.
I would think.
I don't even think anyone really stopped to watch me. I just kind of was in the corner. Just here we go. Like they're like that was it. And then also, I think there was a little girl at that who was like, I want him for my birthday party. And so she went home to her parents and told them or something like that. And so they hired me for the birthday party. And I did the same exact thing there. I was like, well, I got a good gig here, so I'll do this again. And it was the same situation. Like, how much? No, what? Because I don't even think we discussed payment there. I don't know what I was doing.
Sure.
No one was telling me how to be a juggler.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I was probably right around 16.
Okay,
I think I was driving to these gigs.
Sure.
I got my license the day I turned 16, so.
Right. I feel like we as jugglers should probably make some resources for each other so to help out the other like
that would
16
be nice because
-year-olds
I had no idea what I was doing.
Right, yeah, because there should probably be some rate for like can do, I don't know, 30 tricks or whatever.
But also I wasn't providing value. Like it was a little show for a couple minutes, but like
value.
I guess, but like you know, I wasn't doing a 45-minute show or whatever.
Right.
You know, like
yeah. Right.
So
yeah, we should probably that should probably be a video. That should probably be where does the value come from?
Yes. Because I
What
thought
should you
I'm like, well,
charge?
I'm a really good juggler, so I should be paid for this.
Right.
But
The best in the world.
yes, true. Well, no, at that point I knew I was not the best in the world. Actually, I think I'd already competed at a WJF at that point. Yeah, I had been to a
Really?
It's weird. My head, like, of where I was at mentally. And
Not thinking
also-
back at the timeline.
Yeah, the timeline, it's weird going through it. It's also weird that this was like 4 years compared to like 4 years now is so different.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 years is like, I don't know,
Everything,
6
but-
months to
Yeah,
me
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
Now, 4 years then was a lifetime,
Yeah.
but it's just a larger percentage of your life, I guess.
Sure.
We didn't talk about how you got into your current profession. That was your first gig.
Oh, true.
How did you make the transition
Yeah.
from Nick Thomas person to Nick Thomas logo juggler?
Well, Gregory made that logo for me when I was like 15 or 16 or whatever. So don't equate that with a profession now. But,
Got it.
but I basically, I went to, like, I was always good in school. Like, I was, you know, a straight A student for most of the time, and like, you know, did well in school. So obviously, I'm gonna go to college and study something. And I liked computer programming, so I studied software engineering at Michigan Tech in the UP of Michigan. And while I was there, I was still juggling, and I liked it. I didn't think at the time that was going to be my profession, though, because I didn't really do many shows. I had done a few shows with Circumungus. Are you familiar with them?
I've heard of them.
So Sam and Teresa Abrahams, who are really good unicyclers, they created a whole sort of circus program that like went around to different elementary schools, taught circus skills to children. But another thing they did was they would get hired for shows. And so they brought me along to kind of shadow them, and then eventually did the shows with them. And I had a little spot in the show. So that kind of got me used to being on stage a little bit. But I never really did full shows until college. And in college, I was like, oh, I can make maybe a little bit of money if I develop an act that I could sell. And one thing I really liked in college was the college would bring entertainment in. So I would go to these comedy shows and variety shows and like, okay, what are they buying? Like, what is, you know, what are they bringing to the campus? How can I implement some of this so I can have an act? One act that was really cool, John Cassidy. He's a balloon artist. Does a balloon artist show. It's amazing show. Super high energy, despite him being a little bit older. Like, he's got twice as much energy as me, like on his show. Like, it's crazy. And got to meet him much later. We worked with the same agent, and so he's a really cool guy. But I watch all these acts, and I was really inspired. And I'm like, I really want to do college shows as well. But, you know, I still in my mind was like, I'm going to be a software engineer. Like, that just kind of makes sense. And so once I graduated, I was doing the software engineering, got moved to part-time. It was a really small startup company. And eventually I was like, I think I just want to do juggling. And kind of just jumped into the juggling world. And it's been like that since.
That's extremely fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It also is weird. I spent 4 years at college, worked for a few months out of college, and haven't touched software really much outside of building that one video game for Chris and Jack.
Right. I saw that. I saw like the thank you there on their short, and I was like, what? He did what?
Yeah. Save the Watermelon. Made that video game. Definitely check it out.
Right. That's a fun video. That's so funny that you're just there.
Yeah. I'm just there a lot of the time. Just, you know, in the background, always kind of there.
I love it. Which one is Chris and which one's Jack?
So Jack DeSena is the shorter one with darker hair.
Okay.
Chris is the taller one.
Got it.
So Chris Smith is a juggler.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I got connected with them because he actually came to an IJA.
Okay.
But I recognized him from the videos because I was a huge fan of their videos because I love Jack DeSena from all that.
Right. Yeah.
And so I've been following their channel since they were really small.
Sure.
And then they kind of blew up. But then I recognized Chris, and then I was like, Chris. And he didn't know me because why would he know me?
Right.
I was like, hi. I was like, oh, yeah, you don't know me. Hi, I'm Nick. And then I'm a huge fan of your channel and all that.
That's so funny.
I got to kind of show him around the juggling world, which was really cool because he, despite being a juggler, was never involved in the juggling community.
Sure.
So I got to show him. He was still calling them pins.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, dude, you are much too good to be calling them pins still. So then he was like, yeah, we made this video and we need a guy to make the video game. I was like, I think I could do it. And I kind of was like, not jokingly said it. Like, I did not think I was capable of doing it. And they kind of like sent me the files, like, here's what you need to do. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I didn't want to disappoint him at that point. So I just built the video game.
You had to do it then.
Yeah, I just had to. So I did touch code then. So my software engineering degree did come in handy for that one video game.
Absolutely. And it's like related to the juggling. In the juggler, I need a video game. You, the juggler. I went to college for that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I could do that. But yeah, so 4 years of software engineering, although the software engineering market's looking a little weird right now. So I'm actually happy I chose juggling.
Yes. I don't think they're going to have vibe juggling quite yet.
Not for quite some time.
No. I've been watching the Jugglebot videos, those live streams occasionally.
Oh.
The one guy is coming up with he's getting somewhere. It's pretty impressive, honestly. It's pretty cool. But I don't think that you're in danger at this point.
Not for a few more years.
Yeah, we've got a few more years at least.
Definitely.
What editing software do you use?
Oh, Premiere Pro. I don't know if I haven't really talked about this too much, but so I used to edit for Josh Horton.
Okay.
For all his videos, for on and off a little bit for a few years, and I think at first he paid for the Premiere Pro for me for like a year or something like that, and then I just kind of ended up paying it for myself. I was like, I use it myself more.
Sure.
And yeah, I have been using that for years. It's what I'm used to. I have a bunch of the shortcuts and all that.
Sure.
And it would be hard to go to something else, even if it's like I've used some other stuff. I'm like, oh, these are really user friendly and doesn't crash as often.
Right.
But I'm so used to, like, I'm so fast at being able to do stuff.
As soon as you have your shortcuts like locked in your brain and like that sort of flow that you go through with it, it's definitely, there's almost no point in switching unless you're doing like thousands of hours of.
I used to edit with the Elgato, the Stream Deck.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of macros for that. And I was killing it. My hands would hurt because I'd be just,
oh no,
you know, almost be like playing a video game in terms of like how fast I was going. But
right. Yeah, that's probably a bad wrist angle.
Yeah,
for you
it wasn't
to stay
great.
at.
It wasn't great.
That's so funny. Premiere Pro, did you edit like Nick number one in
Oh no, I use
Windows Movie Maker?
Windows Movie Maker, I believe. And then I can't. No, Camtasia? No, is that? No, I think it's recording software. My one of my best friend, he was into video editing.
Okay.
So he was into After Effects like
Sure.
2007-ish or whatever. And so I used whatever he was using at the time. I can't remember. There was something he really liked, so I was using that.
Sure.
My computer was always so old, though. It was so hard to do anything on it.
Right.
Well, you said Nick number one, though.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking of Nick juggling, my first video.
Right.
That one just pretty much put in Movie Maker upload sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other one, my dad, actually, for the talent show, that was a camcorder, which we then converted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have like the little S video converter with like the bunch of pins in it?
Yeah. My dad did it for me. I don't remember how he did it, but
that's a big deal. That's complicated.
yeah.
Nope.
Not
Not many people
my dad
could.
was pretty techie back in the day. But yeah, Nick number one was filmed with an ELPH camera, ELPH. You remember those?
No.
Was it by Canon? I don't know. He won it at his work Christmas party when they would give out gifts,
Yeah.
And he won that camera, and that's what I used to film all my videos for a few years.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
Was it okay? This probably answers itself. What inspired you to start making those videos? I'm guessing it was partly Chris Bliss started it, but then at the time there's a bunch of good videos
That
out
was
there.
a great time.
Yeah.
I think the first ones that I really liked were the Thomas Dietz ones.
Sure.
Thomas Dietz number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all those.
Super good.
And watching those, it's also funny how it shaped my music interest too.
Totally,
The
mine
music
too.
they used, and it's so funny because I didn't even know who they were by or popular songs.
Yeah.
So there's like the one Thomas Dietz video to the Elvis song "Devil in Disguise."
Yeah.
Where he was mouthing the words at the wrong time. You remember that?
I don't.
It was, I want to say it was Thomas Dietz number 4. And, it starts off with you looked like an A. And he had the mouth was 3 seconds off. I don't know if there was a problem with editing or whatever, because he was singing along.
It's hard to move the audio file around, especially back then.
Yeah, true. But that was one of my favorite videos, and I would love all the music that was with it. I was introduced to so many new things, which were very common songs mostly.
Right.
But so Thomas Dietz, that was the idea of the Nick number 1. I think that was originally from him.
Sure. Okay.
Lauga also did the Lauga number 1 through blah, blah, blah. Then he did the Improving 1 through.
Right.
That was the other one that was really an inspiration. I'm sure there's a few others. I was kind of I don't want to say I was the last one. Everyone was doing them, and then they kind of stopped doing that format, and then I was but I want to do that format. I actually did Nick 0.5 first.
Did you?
Because I didn't feel ready to release
It wasn't
a full
one.
one. So I was this is a half, because it's not ready to be
love
its
that.
It wasn't good enough.
That's so good.
So
that seems on brand.
yeah, I was I'm not ready to be a whole number 1. So I released Nick 0.5. Just so funny looking back. And I remember thinking, I'm do I put the number sign before? Because some people put the number sign before and some people didn't.
Yeah.
Thomas Dietz, I believe, did, and then Lauga didn't. So I wanted to be cool like Lauga, and so I didn't put the number. So and also when you're doing 0.5, number 0.5 kind of looked weird. So I just did Nick 0.5.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then I released Nick number 1 a little while later. So.
Okay. What about more? I've avoided asking you about this. I've been very curious because I wanted to have whatever your reaction was. I was really excited when I saw, because it came up into my YouTube feed. I'm scrolling. I'm like, oh, it's Nick. Oh, that's 70 million views. So what was your reaction when your first one popped off?
It was funny because it didn't just happen in one day, right?
Sure.
So I had a buddy that we were kind of accountability buddy, we're going to upload every week sort of thing.
Awesome.
And I uploaded a thing, and they were not doing well. It was a new channel, but I'm just I just want to consistent. You know, you keep throwing darts, eventually you'll get closer.
Absolutely.
And one of them, it was like, oh, this got 1,000 views or whatever. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I mean, I've had like some viral-ish videos before.
Yeah.
But this was like, oh, cool. And then the next day it was like, oh, it's got 5,000 views. It was a very slow rise where for like 2 weeks or so straight, it got more views than the previous day.
Really? Okay.
So, you know, by the time you saw it, you know, it had 70 million or whatever. But it kept going up, and I didn't know when it was going to stop, which was crazy. Because I was like, wow, it's crazy. It's got 100,000 views. And then it's like 200, 250, like refreshing. Kept going. And then 1 million, 2 million. Like it was insane. And seeing the subscribers go up, I did a fun thing because I was 100,000. Getting a play button was
that's huge.
So cool.
That's a big deal.
I know like it's a little different now because of the shorts and like it's not the same as like 100,000 a few years ago.
Right. Yeah. Subscribers basically mean nothing for views currently. It's the algorithm gets to decide.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But getting a play button was really
huge.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And because I've always been such a big YouTube fan. Like I love the platform and was on so early back in the day. And
So early. Like early enough that it was like VHS tape to digital. That's hard.
And I mean, I think I was watching it, I think it was 05. Like I remember talking about it with my friend in 2005.
Sure.
And like
I think it was 06 that.
Oh,
maybe
06
maybe it started late 05.
Okay, maybe like October 05 or
something like that.
But I think actually no, I think 06 when because it was at I remember talking about it with a friend at 6th grade camp or something. So that would have been 06, but I remember talking about YouTube, like how exciting that was. So, but also Google Video. That was another thing I was watching.
A lot of those formats didn't survive. Those websites or whatever.
But Google bought YouTube, so then they got rid of Google Video.
Yeah, Google does do that.
They love it. It's their favorite thing.
Did you see any other conversions off of 70 whatever million views?
So I made a juggling version of that as well, that video, and that hit like 30 million views too. So that kind of fed off. And it was kind of weird because I had no real long form videos on the channel because I just started this channel.
Right.
And I was like rushing to get more videos out, trying to capitalize it because people were coming to the channel, not seeing any videos. And a lot of the comments were like, how do you have 100,000 subscribers but only 4 videos? Like, or whatever it was. And so I'm like, rushing to try to make content. And I rushed out a couple things. I mean, they did fine because people were going to my channel.
Totally.
And nothing really, it wasn't like, oh, I was contacted by thousands of brands for anything. Like, I tried to like, oh, let me put my email so that people can find me. And there wasn't much.
So like, you didn't see like a spike in emails or
not really. I'm even trying to think of like one thing that really came from that. Not really much. I mean, the thing is like you find that video, like imagine a video you watch that went viral. You like the video, you go on to the next thing. You don't go, let me email this person and talk to them about, like that's how it is now where, if you had 8 million views 10 years ago, you would have been on Ellen.
Yes.
Like Ellen would have brought you out.
Absolutely.
And you would be on Ellen.
Yes, absolutely.
But now there's 100 times more viral videos than there was back in.
Right. And I think that people are there's so much content saturation that you're not like going to follow because 100,000 views is crazy. 72 million views or whatever it's at now is absolutely insane. But the conversion for like subscribers is, I think people are just less interested in finding new stuff than they used to be. And I think that a lot of jugglers chase views when that doesn't convert so much into actual like money in your pocket.
It's a tough balance of who is my audience.
Right.
Because, okay, you get a viral video like that. I mean, I got some YouTube AdSense money from it or whatever. Not much from shorts compared to long form, but I didn't like book a gig from it. No one like contacted me to fly me out for a show. Like, but I recently put out my first like kind of show clip on my Instagram recently, which I had never really done because I was a little afraid of people potentially stealing content. And the other thing is I have this much content in my show.
Right.
And okay, if I post this, now I can never post this again.
Right.
Or people who've watched it now when they see my show have already seen this.
Exactly.
And I'm so limited by what I can do because there isn't much room for improv in my show to have a funny bit.
Yeah.
So the bit that I posted it because I came up with it the day of the show.
Sure.
And thought, this is funny. I won't feel bad about posting this because it's a new bit. So my goal has now kind of been try to come up with new things that you can post, kind of like how comedians today are doing a lot more crowd work,
right?
Because those can be things you can post and have content for, but not have to have old content and show. You can you can have a show, but you can also have crowd work that gets posted and not post your show, sort of thing. So I've had to weigh that where you have to go, who is my audience when you're posting something?
Totally.
Do you want it to be potential bookers or do you want it to just be everyone? So when I posted that Instagram post, I've had more high quality clients like reach out recently. I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, but like I think having that clip goes, oh, this is a show thing that he does this. Because if I just post videos of me juggling in my room, they go, oh, this guy just kind of juggles in his room.
Sure.
I don't want to book him for this fancy event. But I post a video of me at a fancy event and I'm dressed up nice and I do a funny thing.
I think that people use Instagram as a contact list as well. So there's more messaging, like messaging is possible on it versus YouTube. Okay, do I have to like dig through, find an email? They'll probably ignore it versus like shoot a DM or whatever.
There's that difference, I have booked, I don't know if I've really booked much through Instagram. I know people who do like almost fully booked through Instagram stuff.
Sure.
That's not me because I don't really post there.
Right.
So, but yeah, most of my stuff is through my website, which people, are getting away from going to a website, for stuff and emailing. Like, I don't know. I think the corporate world still operates under that fashion, but smaller stuff is...
Yes, I think that the transition is starting to happen there. Maybe a couple of people starting to retire or whatever, and us kids getting in there.
And maybe they find you on Instagram and then contact,
Totally. When'd you get into slinking?
Here's this little slinky here. That was... when was that? About a year and a half ago, I think. Trying to remember what started that. Why? Oh, okay, yeah. So the IJA 2 years ago. Bob Cates, do you know him? He's a comedy juggler from Canada.
I don't think that I've seen him.
Very nice guy. Gotten to see his show. I saw his show when I was actually still getting started a little bit in the juggling world.
Sure.
They did a show near me, and went to it and really enjoyed it. But got to meet up with him later, and at the IJA 2 years ago, he had Slinky, and he, could do some basic stuff with it, but I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Sure.
And I had seen a couple clips online, but I got it right after the IJA 2 years ago. Yeah, so wow, it's been 2 years. And in those 4 or 5 months or so, I was all in Slinky. And that was very exciting because I had never, since juggling, I had never dove into anything like I did that.
Right.
And it was also really funny because my wife was not around when I first started juggling. So she didn't know how it was when I dive in fully to something. She didn't see me practicing 3 or 4 hours a day. So when she met me, I was already...
You're just Nick.
I guess I was right when I was starting my software engineering job, but like I'd already juggled and done like...
Sure.
I wasn't practicing and it wasn't the only thing on my mind.
Right.
And so when we were just like around the house, I'm practicing Slinky all the time. She's
Sure.
like, you're doing this so much. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess you've never been around me when I just fully hyper-focus on one thing all day, every day. And that's all I want to talk about, all I want to think about. And it was exciting because it was fun to have that itch of practice and get good at something.
Yeah.
Fully. Like I've had little things where I've learned like, oh, I've had a little devil stick phase or a Diablo phase or whatever else I've done. But slinking, this was the first thing where I'm like, I like this.
Getting good at something and seeing yourself progress is definitely like addictive. There's some sort of drug involved in that.
And it's great. It is the best feeling in the world, learning a new thing.
Absolutely.
And yeah, with the slinky, it was so rewarding because like I saw the progress really fast.
Sure.
And then it's also exciting because it's so underexplored. So
Yeah.
having something where maybe no one's ever done this before, like,
Right.
oh wow, this is fun. Because like with juggling, I was always watching someone else, and someone else had done this trick, someone else had done this trick. There was very few things that I was the first person to do in juggling.
Sure.
But
And with juggling, there's always like, oh, that's like that thing, or that's like that. Okay, that looks like that plus that.
yes,
Or that is that plus that, or that's named whatever.
but like with slinking, there's not even like full naming conventions of stuff.
Sure.
So it's fun, and it's like my new favorite prop. Kind of. I mean, I still love juggling more,
Sure.
but it is also weird now that like at the IJ, I'm here mostly kind of
With the
slinking
slink.
because it's less effort than juggling. And I'm not
Sure.
sore at the end of the day. And so
Right.
a lot of people right now know me as, oh, that's the guy with the slinkies. And I'm
Right.
like, man, that's such a small, like I'm so much better at juggling than I am at slinking, but it's cool that you know me for that. But
Well, you're the best slinker that anybody here knows, most likely.
it's true, unless they have met Slinky Josh.
Right.
But, you know. But I love the juggling aspect of the slinky, the throwing, that portion of it, which, you know, like Slinky Josh has explored a little bit, but he hasn't dove into, and even in China where it's a lot more popular, they are a little bit more interested in the different twists than they are with the throws.
Yeah.
They like don't release it much. It's usually in both their hands or it's in one hand.
Right.
It's rarely not out of their hand.
Right. Yeah.
So I do love that when it's not in your hand.
Yeah.
That is fun for me. So I would like to have it be more viewed as a juggling prop. In some way, sort of like how, you know, like bow juggler, right? Yeah, bow juggler, with poi and doing all of this juggling. Like I would like there to be a section of slinking that is sort of juggling.
Okay, so you start to make your own branch there.
A little bit, yeah. Like there can still be, of course, the more flowy, you know, twists and stuff. But
so you're already trying to make a divide here of technical slinky versus
the WJF versus IJ of slinky.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, good.
No, but I would like to see a little bit more of the juggling. There's Tanishi juggling from Japan, I believe, and on Instagram he posts some insane stuff. He is so much better at some of the 2 and 3 slinky stuff that I can't even imagine doing.
Oh, three slinky stuff?
Yeah.
What do you mean 3 slinky stuff?
Yeah. So I mean, I did a qualify of 3 slinky in that kind of bounce pattern that I do with the two balls and a slinky. But he's done, I think, 8 or 9 catches, and his are way cleaner looking than mine.
Cool.
It's not something I've practiced in like a year.
Sure.
But it is a really cool looking pattern. His is beautiful. And he does a lot of other 2 slinky stuff. That's really, really good.
I think that one of the first good posts that I saw on Reddit was you're doing stuff with the jugglers, and I was like, I want to go to an IJA. All those people look like they're having fun.
Wow, I'm glad that inspired you for that. Yeah, so
Definitely.
that was the IJA. That was my first IJA.
Really?
IJA 2013. Yeah,
That's fun.
And I'd been to a few WJFs at that point.
Okay.
But I was told that WJF or the IJA, but then I'm like, wait, all my friends are here. Why am I not going to these?
Sure. Yeah.
And so Bowling Green, IJA, and it was the closest IJA in history to me, which was very convenient.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know, 2-hour drive, not even something like that.
That's not bad.
And I decided like I wanted to take pictures with all the people that were there because I'm like, this might be the only IJA I go to, which I've been to every IJA since then.
Really? Okay,
But
that's fun.
I got to take pictures with everyone with what they do, and
I loved it.
yeah, it was like the second or third highest post in the IJ of all time, which was cool at the time. But now it's so low because this is 10 years later, and Reddit is a lot more used than it was at the time.
Yeah.
That was kind of a very fun time. IJ 2013 was probably my favorite. That was a really, really great IJ. I mean, I kept going, so if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have kept going.
Absolutely.
But it was a great time.
What was your experience walking into the gym for the first time? Be the WJF.
I was gonna say for the IJ, it wasn't as magical then because I had kind of had that moment twice already. I think at WJF 6 and I think 7 was before WJF.
Do you remember who was there? Who'd you see? Who was goofing around in there?
David Furman.
Okay,
was there.
cool.
Lauga Benjaminson.
Okay, wow,
Jason
fun.
Garfield.
Sure.
I don't know if it was right then and there, but I think Tanner Alder. He was my buddy, so we had messaged back and forth almost every day.
Fun.
Leading up to WJF.
Nice.
Vaslav Peta, the guy who juggle quip.
Okay.
But he's changed it. He changed his name. Not changed his name. He tried to make it easier for English speakers to say it, and then it ended up being harder. So it's like Vaslav, but it's also Vasek. Peta. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You're great. But he runs the Juggle Quip, the Infinities, and it's really cool to see him still in it.
Yeah.
And doing well. Great juggling balls, by the way.
Yeah. I like
also,
them.
G balls are cool too, but
Right.
sponsored. But
Wait, are you still sponsored by G-Balls?
not really. I haven't. No, I've bought my last few sets.
Okay.
But seeing those guys. I'm trying to remember who else was there. I think I saw Vova there. Like it was wild. Thomas Dietz. I don't remember if he was. I don't know why I don't remember if he was there or not. WJF 6 maybe.
It was a long time ago.
I did meet him at the IJ at 2013. He was there, so I definitely have met him a couple times. But Lauga was huge. That was great. Oh, Noah Malone. I don't know if you know him. Real OGs remember Noah Malone. He was great. But that was. So I was 14, I think, at that time. Maybe I turned 15. And so I think it was 14 because I was just old enough to be in junior. No, you could be 15. But anyway, I was working on 97531 in Mills Mess, which is kind of a really cool trick.
That's
looking
huge.
back. I think I was better at that then than I am now,
Sure.
which is weird.
No, that's like swimming up a waterfall. Like you have to be actively doing it
that
to do
trick.
it.
And so when I was working on that, I think it was David Furman was like, "Whoa, look at that kid doing that," and pointed it to Lauga to look at this sort of thing, and that was really cool. That was like, oh awesome. My gosh, Lauga's looking at me, and then I ended up being good friends with Lauga, so that was was weird because I was still like, oh my gosh, it's Lauga, but he stayed at my house, for a few days and twice. And he's great, but
I've heard good things.
Yeah.
I've heard that he's good at teaching moms to juggle.
Yep, he taught my mom to juggle, which was weird. Yeah, he stayed over for Gregory Pochet was holding the World Juggling Day picnic.
Sure.
And my mom was like, I should learn to juggle. And I think I tried to teach her, but she just had this big urge to learn from Lauga.
Sure.
Learned very quickly from him, and I was like, wow, it's kind of weird that you learn from him instead of me.
That's my favorite fact.
Yes. My dad had showed no interest, but he did get me my first juggling set. So that was actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
That he just kind of was like, here, you can, because I don't know, usually my parents didn't just buy something for me. They'd be like, save it for Christmas, save it for your birthday.
Sure.
But he's just like, here you go.
Right.
I found it on eBay. It was a deal. He loves a deal. I love a deal,
Nice.
So
yeah. I think everybody likes a deal, right?
Yeah.
It's very exciting, especially juggling props.
Yeah. Yeah. It also, that one, unrelated, it came with a DVD on how to juggle. And I had already juggled 3 balls, but it showed you how to juggle 3 clubs. Ooh. And in that DVD, they showed you start with 2 balls and a club, and then 2 clubs and 1 ball, and then 3 clubs. That was this progression, which I don't know if I fully agree with, but that's how I learned.
How would you teach it?
You start with 1 club, and then go to 2 clubs, then go to 3 clubs sort of thing. But I don't know, I guess. Well, I feel like that's how most people kind of teach it.
I teach it with the balls.
Oh, okay.
But
I haven't taught many people clubs.
Okay.
I usually teach people juggling balls. I've never really...
Sure. It's usually they get the 3-ball cascade, and then they're the best juggler in the world.
Exactly. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. You learn 3 balls. Once you can do a couple tricks, though. That's the main thing.
No, because I was the best juggler in the world at a certain
cool.
point.
That you had that title, and then I took over at some point.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And then I saw someone doing tricks, and I went, "Oh, I'm the worst juggler in the world." Got it.
It's the same thing with Smash Bros. Where I'm the best Smash Bros. Player, and then you finally encounter someone, you're like, "Oh no." So I had a very similar Smash Bros. And juggling story where you get humbled, and then then you okay, I actually want to be good at this.
Yeah. Do you still do Metafy? Do you do lessons at all?
I haven't in quite some time.
It's
been a minute.
I have a confession.
What?
I got lessons from Jeja.
He told me. He told me that he's like, there's this guy. He's also a juggler, and I was like, I know who that is. Like, I know.
There's one person. I'm coming for you, Nick.
But you play in Cinnamoroar now instead of Villager. Was that
Villager's just so bad. He just doesn't have it. You got to hit people like 20 times. And it's a hilarious animation, but this crouch animation, he just gets so small, and I have to do the falling short hop forward air bears to hit you for like 3%, and then you just
are you talking about specifically the Kirby matchup or just
yes?
Okay,
but in general,
sure.
In general, like he just sort of struggles to kill. You know, I can do if they don't respect the tree, then you can get some tree kills.
I guess.
But if they respect the tree, then you don't get to kill them. Period. What made you interested in competitive Smash Brothers?
When we were in Kentucky, I went to EB Games, which is like the sister company GameStop. I don't know. And I got it for $80, got $20 for a used copy of Melee, and played Melee all the time. Again, I was not very good. I was just Kirby, go to the top down, but you know how, you know.
Yeah.
That was me.
You're just having fun.
And I did that for years. And I was like, I think I'm the best Smash Bros. Player. And then I got to high school, and because I could beat my family and friends at Smash Bros. And there was one guy who's like, I'm the best at Smash Bros. I'm like, yeah, right. And then he ended up being power ranked in Michigan later on.
Wow.
Cool. Later on, and this was now the Brawl days. So I'm playing Brawl and having a good time. Then I go over to his house to play Brawl, and I actually almost beat him using just gimmicky Kirby stats. Like I took him to final stock every single game we played.
That's great.
And he was playing Diddy Kong in Brawl, which was a very solid character. And like I think he claimed, I don't know if he was, but like the second best Diddy in Michigan. Because Zenodo was there. He was like one of the best players in the world. Sure. Anyway, and so I remember I almost beat him, and then his brothers who were there, who were also, one of them I think ended up being power ranked, was just like, oh, second best Diddy in Michigan, but you almost lost to this curve, you know. But then after that, I got into the competitive scene because I wanted to be better than him, and so Travis, if you're watching, I think I'm better than you at Smash Bros. At this point.
That sounds like a challenge to me.
He ended up being a little bit better than me throughout Smash 4, but I think he stopped playing with Ultimate. But I switched to content creation for Ultimate too. So
sure. Do you still play?
Not consistently. Every now and then. I just got Switch 2.
Okay.
So I played it on there, and I'm like, wow, this loads really fast.
Yeah. Those load times are brutal.
Yeah, and so I'm just hoping a new Smash game gets announced soon. We'll see.
Same.
Probably not for a little while, but I have played. I've played a few local tournaments that I've won.
Really? Okay, cool.
They're super local. Like they put a sign
10
out.
10 players?
The one around that, I think there was like 16, but the one I recently did ended up with 2. And very nicely, they gave us the full prize, and then we even split the third place prize. So I got like the $65 gift card, which was cool, for beating one other guy. But yeah, I think like 16, funny. I think it was 16 they capped it at for the last one. But yeah, I've gotten some gift cards from to the local game store by farming those.
You're farming the locals.
Yeah, that's just how it goes. But yeah, I'm definitely not like I've played Jeja a few times, and he's definitely better than me, at least at the Kirby Ditto, by a significant margin. So I can gimmick my way to a few wins against good players though. But I've ran into him. I've ran into a lot of good players online that I've taken games off of. But
I would love to get to that point. I got the Metafy lesson with you.
Yeah.
Just because I saw you on there, like Juggle Boy. Is that Nick? And like you got on the voice, and I was like, it is Nick.
You're, I think, the second or maybe third person that's known me independently through like Smash Bros. And juggling. And then I think there's Noah here who knew me through those, but then also independently through as the developer of the game, Save the Watermelon. So
really? That's so
like I just
funny.
keep showing up in his life in a various thing. Like
Well, you're just involved in fun things.
I am.
And you've got the I'd like to be good at things.
Yes, that mentality of when I do something, you jump in all the way, 100%.
Yeah.
As long as it's like a
enjoy
weird
that.
niche enough thing that you can get really good at it, and
Yeah.
then
That's
you're
where the
good.
fun lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point, I'm going to take a game off of you in Smash Brothers.
Hopefully. One of these days.
I'm playing Incineroar. He's better. Incineroar can actually kill people.
I feel like I'm better at this Incineroar matchup than I would be at the
Are you?
Villager, in theory. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, because Villager's he's got matchup checks that you probably wouldn't see. Incineroar, am I going to down throw, down air you?
I mean,
Probably
I think you
not.
could definitely, if we played 100 games,
I just need to play you in 100 games.
I feel like there is a time where you could just get lucky with your down B enough where you would win more with Incineroar than Villager, but I think I would 3-stock you more against Incineroar than I would with Villager.
No
If that makes
way.
sense. No?
No,
You don't
because
think so?
Villager can't trade at all. Incineroar can at least trade.
I think
You don't think that I can get the
I
trades?
think I can edge guard you so well as Incineroar that you'll get so mad.
I won't. I love it. I love it while
It's
it's
true.
happening.
It's true. You were enjoying
Oh,
getting
yeah.
bodied.
Yeah, I love it. I love every second of it.
I think that might be the problem. I think you need to get a little more mad.
I'm just getting my butt
something
kicked.
I did notice at tournaments is people who had this angry mindset actually were the people that got better.
Sure.
There is something to that.
Yeah.
Where
Well, you have to have the drive. You have to have something
you
that
have to
makes
have
you
the
actually.
passion.
Yeah.
I don't. I never got angry. I'm like you,
Sure.
but maybe a little bit. Maybe not as happy, but
You are competitive. I would say.
Yeah.
You're somewhat competitive.
But I don't think I get I never when at Smash Bros. At least I never was mad when I lost.
Sure.
I was more dang, that sort of. I never, I had people that flip table, whatever at the game, whoa, okay, dude, take it easy, man, and I had that happen a few times, but I never was that.
Sure.
But I definitely would dang it, I lost, sort of thing.
Internally, I did not like this. I will be better now.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. Well, this has been super fun.
This has been a long time. How long has this been?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just curious. I'm like, man, it feels.
I think it's been
short or
an
long.
hour.
Okay, that's not as bad.
An
Not too
hour
bad.
and 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's a little longer, but no, that was fun. I was fun getting. I like talking about myself. I know that sounds conceited, but it is enjoyable. I like talking about juggling.
Sure. Yeah.
I like talking about my interests.
Right. And these are all fun topics.
Yeah.
I feel like. And for me, this is a conversation that I wanted to have with you anyways.
Sure. A lot of times people will be like, "Oh, you don't need to talk about your juggling." It's like, no, I want to talk about. This is what I want to talk
That's
about.
the
all
thing
the
that I
time.
like.
That's all. Yeah.
Let me only talk about
I
that.
know it's sometimes they're like, "Oh, that's your job." It's like, yeah, I don't
Right.
want to talk about that aspect. I want to talk about this aspect.
the fun part.
Sometimes, but sometimes I want to talk about performing because that's also fun too.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess I didn't really talk about performing too much, at least today.
Do you
Or
like performing?
Yeah, I don't like driving a lot. I mean,
That's
drives are
reasonable.
okay, but
Yeah.
90% of the job is not the juggling aspect.
Right.
It's the administrative business
Right.
aspect,
Yeah.
which is less fun.
Because you're the marketing, you're the accountant, you're the everything. Yeah.
So I don't like that, but when I'm on stage,
Sure.
I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I used to be a lot more nervous before stuff. Now I'm a little more, I think it's more I'm confident in myself as a performer.
Sure.
And that's what made the nerves go away,
Yeah.
not just doing the thing.
Right.
So.
It's not. It's more of day job, less of
Yeah.
I don't end things.
We're just gonna be 3 hours later. So how's the weather?
No, I mean I don't do intro outro.
So we're just. It's
We can
over.
just yeah.
At any point.
Whenever we wanted it to be over is the point that it's
I
over.
think there should be a meta ending.
A
Like if
meta?
it were to end right,
Yeah, that's a good one.
then the meta ends.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's where.
Right.